the agenda.
The time is 11:32 and you're tuned in to the mid-morning talk with me, Fazila Isaac, on Salam Media. Don't forget to catch us on our social media pages. You can go onto our Facebook Live. You can catch us on our stream, www.salammedia.com. You can also send us a few WhatsApps if you have a few questions for any of our guests or any comments that you'd like to make. Now, before the break, I did tell you we will be speaking to the founder, Mr. Bongani Luvalo. He's the founder of the Cool Dads Foundation. He hails from Kwatema and he's also a father to Loyiso. Mr. Luvalo is also a businessman. He has quite a few businesses. He's a parenting coach, a social commentator, and a budding chef as well. And not just that, but Mr. Luvalo is also an author of a book. Really, really excellent, excellent portfolio. Mr. Luvalo, thank you for joining us on air.
Thank you very much, Fazela, and to your listeners as well. We appreciate the opportunity.
So let's get straight into it. Tell us about yourself. We'd like to know who's the man behind all of this phenomenal work.
I'm just a mere young man from Guatemala who is a father, as you said, to a beautiful daughter. I am a brother. I am my mother's son. I'm a community member. I think I'm bothered by unjust behavior that we find in society. I'm bothered by social ills that we see in our communities. And sometimes I entrap myself in trying to bring some change, on those ills and social ills that we find in our communities.
And the Cool Dads Foundation. I see a lot of dads there, I am a cool dad. So tell us about the foundation. What inspired this specific foundation?
Look, it's a movement, and I think two reasons why it was founded. One, it's my own personal experience of having to grow up without a father. Um, you know, and when you look outside, people are talking about a mother and a father. But also another crippling thought would be a community where majority of the households do not have a father figure. You know, Mostly you'll find aunts, mothers, grandmothers. Having to hold the households together. And for me, I thought it's not an appealing side, and this is not how society is supposed to be. And I think through conversations with some of my friends, we agreed that we need to start a movement that will assist in ensuring that we do not continue with the scourge of absent fathers. I think those who read, and there's a number of researches that talk about the numbers of absent fathers, deadbeat dads, ATM dads, and so on. But most importantly, what are the impacts of a father who decides not to be in the life of a child? And those are quite a lot, because of those contribute to the psychological mindset of a child. Those speak to the character and personality of what a son then becomes or a daughter becomes. And I think children are always looking for some validation, some love and affection from their parents. And if a daughter cannot um, find and understand and appreciate what love is from a father, then they go outside and go and look for this male figure who would make them have an appreciation and understanding of what a father is and what love is coming from a male perspective. And you find boys having to join gangsters and groups because of they are wanting that type of validation where they are told that they are doing good or they are taught how to do things. So when you are absent from a father, you are then opening up yourself and your kids to being influenced by external forces which might not necessarily be of good ethical ethos that are instilled in your child. So for us, we then thought we have got to be bothered as a generation. We have got to not take things as business as usual. We have a responsibility of having to change the narrative, having to change and shape how men and fatherhood is looked at, and how we as men entrench ourselves in our communities and in our families. So the foundation was started by those two reasons, but most importantly, I think the need for us to change the perspective in our communities.
You know, you did touch on something that's so important, the need for having a father, an active father in a child's life. It's a lot of the things that are happening, especially when it comes to, the human trafficking, when it comes to our young girls as well. It stems, a few of them, well, it stems from something like this, where they seek what they want from their father, they seek it in another man who's then going to take advantage of that circumstance that the child is in. So it is absolutely important that you do have somebody who, or your father, who's going to play an active role in your life. Now, speaking on that, how do we then take our young men and teach them how to become excellent fathers as they grow up? Because it does start from, when you're young, at a younger age, your circumstances when you are younger. We don't need to wait for them to grow up in order for them to learn on their own how to be active fathers. So how can we actually get our young men and our sons to learn how to get to that point of being an active father?
Look, in the foundation, we've got a program called a Big Brother Mentorship, which focuses on mentoring young boys, and solely because of the reasons that you have alluded to right now. That it's I think it's an idiom. It says you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. And we think whilst we are reaching out to our peers, it would be a difficult exercise to try and teach my father how to become a better human being and a better
Mhm.
father. But we are also investing ourselves in these young boys to say we then need boys who will then be transformed, in their journey of growth as they move from one age to another, understanding what is the living purpose of being a young boy and being a man in society. So we meet with these boys once every month. They are of school going age between grade 9 and grade 12. And we teach them about social ills, career path, um, you know, uh, good principles and values that seek to build a society. Because of we believe that once we have them in a right mindset, they'll be able to contribute positively in society. So it's quite important for us to invest in a boy child as much as we're investing in a girl child. But it's important that we take these boys at a young age so that we do not have issues of gender-based violence in high numbers as we're having them today. We do not have issues of suicide, and also mental health issues that many men are facing today. I think the numbers are quite high. People who commit suicide, who suffer from mental illnesses, are men in majority. But also, people don't talk about the violence that men to men show each other. Yes, men are abusive and violent towards women, but no one has asked to say, isn't it that men are also abusive towards each other? So if we then take a boy child and we try and instill discipline, respect, love, and all these good principles and values, then we are going to then have an impact where we see, numbers going down as far as question of suicide, mental illnesses, question of absent fathers, homes that are not taken care of because of who have instilled and planted a seed at quite a young age. So it's quite important for us to really focus on a boy child, and that's why we have what we call we've got Big Brother mentorship in the foundation.
That is an excellent, excellent thing to have, because, like you said, there's so much more that comes with raising a man, and Absolutely. We're always speaking about GBV, not even just saying that, you know what, we need to put it aside. No, it's something that is prevalent, and it's prevalent also man to man as well. Now, you know, your one of the missions or the objectives of the Cool Dads Foundation is to facilitate, promote, educate, advocate, and support a culture of positive fatherhood by engaging with fathers and remind them of their fundamental responsibility towards their kids. Now, how have the men who joined the program taken to this?
Look, for me, I would even want to start citing the responses we've been getting from mothers, partners to some of the members of the foundation, where mothers would say, before my husband or my partner was a member of the foundation and attending the picnics we have and some of the activities that we do, attending our workshops and seminars, I was not comfortable in him remaining with the kids. Not because of he's a bad person, but because of I don't think he's acclimatized to things that he must do as a father with his kids, you know. But now because of we are now teaching each other what being a father entails and how do we spend time with our children, then now we have now brought the confidence to the mothers that we are capable and we are able to assist in parenting or to parent, because of mothers at times also hog that space to think that being a mother, it only means you are the parent, you know, whilst men's responsibility would be to provide financial resources. But through the activities that we have been engaging in the foundation, mothers and women have found confidence in allowing fathers to father and to parent their kids, because of we've got a number of activities that seek to shape a man to be a good father who's able to engage with their kids, who's able to play with their kids, who's able to ensure that when a child is sick, they take them to a health facility. When they're school meetings, they are actively taking part in those things. So we're creating that environment where we shape the psyche and the mental space of men, but also bringing the confidence in the mothers and the partners of these fathers in the foundation.
That is some real excellent work. Mr. Luvalo, what we're going to do, we're just going to take a quick short ad break and we'll be right back.
Sure.
Types, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
Online schooling? Why not? Kurtuba Online Academy is the leading global online Islamic school from grade R to matric, offering South African caps and international syllabus. And it doesn't stop there. We also offer online madrasa for every grade. For more information, visit www.kurtubaonline.co.za. Kurtuba Online Academy, the leading global online Islamic school.
Decades of war, devastating drought, and economic collapse have pushed the Afghan people to the edge of survival. 24 million need life-saving aid, and 5 million children are knocking on famine's door. The world cannot just watch as this terrible crisis unfolds. With your support, the Al-Imdad Foundation is delivering emergency relief to the Afghan people. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
With so many investment options today, it's only natural that you might feel a little confused which route to take. Should I buy shares or should I invest in gold bullion? Randery Jewelers now brings you the Zahab coin, an alternative to the Kruger Rand. The Zahab coin, a solid wealth protector in its purest form of 24-karat gold, is the safest way to protect your wealth. So don't just sit there and watch your paper money depreciate. Change to gold. Call Randery Jewelers now at 031 202 4701 or visit www.rjcoin.co.za, situated at 151 Essenwood Road, Musgrave, Durban. Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Over 33 million people have been affected by the devastating floods in Pakistan. Homes have been destroyed, crops have been swept away, and roads have been damaged. Families are mourning their loved ones while trying to survive these horrific conditions. Penny Appeal is on the ground now, delivering food, shelter, medical supplies, and water to those in need. You can help save a life by donating today. Visit our website www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573. Penny Appeal South Africa. Small change, big difference.
It's a new beginning. It's a new era. Salam Media, humanitarian journalism.
28, and you're back with me, Fazila Isaac, on the Mid-Morning Talk, where we are speaking to Mr. Bongani Luvalo of the Cool Dads Foundation. So Bongani, we were speaking on the positive impact that this has been having on, the fathers and the work that your organization has been doing. What other activities does the foundation engage in?
Look, we've got 5 areas that we focus on. One, it's the area
I
called
understand.
Gates to the park. Are you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Sure. So with interactions, we do activities that promote fathers and their kids spending time in the same space. Movies, camps, date outs. We also have what we call empowerment, and through empowerment, it's what we do workshops and seminars on different thematic issues, where we talk about issues of money, culture, religion, health, the law, and so on. So we empower fathers with different thematic issues. Then we've got the Big Brother mentorship program where we're focusing on the boy child. We also then have a toy and clothing bank. It used to be us collecting clothes and toys that are no longer used by other fathers to give to fathers who are unemployed, so that they can use them for their children. But it proved to be a little bit of a problem. So we now started doing school shoes, where we fundraise and collect school shoes for kids who are coming from underprivileged families. But also we've got an advocacy and lobbying as our last programmatic area, where we look at different laws that affect and impact, the growing of a child, the relationship of a father and a child, laws that would enable a father to be, at their best, maximize their relations with their kids, whether they're still in a relationship with the mother or not. So that's where we do advocacy and lobbying, looking at different pieces of legislations, how we can influence them. So those are the 5 programmatic areas. We just came back from a walk that we took from Johannesburg in Springs. We walked all the way to Durban. It took us about 14 days. And the walk was, the main objective was to raise awareness around issues of gender-based violence, and to say that as men we need
I think there seems to be just a delay. I think it's a network problem, seeing as Bongani is on the road. Bongani, are you still there? Okay, I think, Bongani is quite busy, so I know he's on the road. Okay, there we have you back.
sorry about that. Sorry
No worries. Yes, you were saying
about that.
about the walk.
Yeah. So we just finished that walk, and in that, kids who go to school walking barefoot, who are coming from underprivileged families, but also we're raising, the conversation around issues of gender-based violence and how it is important for men to start calling each other out, to start talking to each other.
Bongani, we seem to have lost you again.
So
Oh.
having to remind society. I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. It seems to be
I'm back
going
now.
in and out
I'm
because
so
of the
sorry.
network. Yes, now I can hear
Yes,
you clearly.
sorry. Yes. Yeah. So we have just came back from that. It was a good walk, and we've tried to elevate this discussion of absent fathers and the impact of that and their rights to access their children, but most importantly to mobilize society to contribute funds so that we are able to take care of those who are less privileged. And really, there are some people who have made donations, but right now we are reaching out to corporates, asking them to assist us in ensuring that we cover the number of these 100,000 children. And we are still accepting donations from individuals and also asking, corporates and asking.
Okay, and tell me the walk that you guys did, Walk for Change, 645 kilometers. So where was the areas that you had actually gone to with this walk?
Please come again.
Okay, so I'm saying the Walk for Change that you did, it was 645-kilometer walk. Which were the
Yes.
areas that you had actually walked through?
We started in Guatemala, so we walked from Guatemala to what do you call this? To Balfour, Heidelberg, Balfour, um, Standerton, Newcastle, Falkrast, Ladysmith, um, and also we covered Ladysmith, we covered Moy River, we covered Howick, we went to Pinetown, yeah, down Kempertown, Pietermaritzburg. I'm now not even counting them in sequence. And then we went to Pinetown, then ultimately arrived in Durban. So we went to about 13 towns that we had covered on our way to Durban in Berea.
And did you meet your objective?
We have partially met our objective. We've elevated the conversation, and through these interviews and this engagement with media, it's us having to extend that conversation. And on that part, I think the message is going out there. We're still trying to ensure that we push people and call on people and corporates and organizations to assist in the donations so that we can secure the school shoes that we are targeting, which is 100,000. So we're still working on that one. But with as far as the message and the conversation, I think we're on a good path because of we've been having some media attention. Even earlier on, we're extending the conversation in another media platform. So the conversation is ongoing, and really we've been inundated with conversations on different platforms, and we really appreciate that. But then what we would want to hammer on right now is our ability to put our resources in ensuring that now we buy school shoes for children.
So if someone wanted to make a donation, somebody wants to get into contact with you guys, how are they able to make these donations to you?
We've got a bank account because we have partnered with Hope for Africa, so we are using their bank for those donations. And people can contact me on 072 087 5798, 072 087 5798. And we then
Oh, I see. I see. Think we lost Bongani again. Um, let's just see if he comes back. Okay, you're back now. It just cut
sorry,
off
yeah,
a
I
bit.
was
You
there was
can
a call
continue.
coming through. Yes. So yes, people can contact us on 072 087 5798 and then be able to share the banking details. And I think as you were flighting some of the pictures, I think one of the posters there has got the banking details. Probably if you can also just pin it as well on your page. But also when people give us a call or a text or a WhatsApp, we'll be able to share those.
Fantastic. And tell us, what does the future look like for the foundation? What are some of the upcoming activities, if any, for this year?
we've launched a book called A Father, a Stranger. We launched it on Father's Day, so we're still trying to sell as much copies as possible because it's a message that is needed by society. Not only men and women need to acquire this book so that we can understand the journey of fatherhood and where different men are coming from. So as a woman, you might be able to identify some of the challenges that your husband, your partner, your boyfriend, embodies, and you could understand them better because of you would have managed to trace it in this book. Because of this book has got 10 contributors who have grown up in different communities. Others, their fathers were absent. Others, their fathers were present in their families, and how has that taught them and shaped them to be the fathers that they are today, to be the partners that they are to their better halves. So we're encouraging both men and women to buy this book and read it because of it seeks to empower, it seeks to trigger more conversations on how we are building society. But also we are working on a conference called We Are the Legacy of Fatherhood. It's going to be happening on the 19th of November. It's International Men's Day. It's going to be happening in Johannesburg at Sentin Hotel. And we've got 20 speakers that are going to be covering different thematic issues, focusing on 5 areas. One, the question of our well-being and our family's health, so our health and wellness, the question of creating wealth and building wealth, the question of building healthy relationships for ourselves, our families, the question of how do we extend fatherhood beyond our own families by driving initiatives like Cool Dads, Fathering a Nation, My Paps and I, because there are men who have started these organizations that seek to extend the hand of fatherhood beyond their own families. So we're also having that conversations of how do we as men extend ourselves beyond our families. So those are the 2 immediate projects that we are embarking on. But also, I think we're going to be starting conversations called 1,000 Boys, where we're going to be gathering boys in different community halls and then trying to shape them to understand the question of GBV. How do they become better men? How do they contribute in society in a positive manner?
Fantastic. Now, that is excellent, excellent work that your foundation is doing. I thank you so much for your time. I understand you are quite busy. Thank you so much for
Thank you very
joining us
much,
on
ma'am.
air today. And I really wish you all of the best with your foundation.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate this opportunity, and let's engage further.
You're more than welcome. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
That was Bongani Luvalo from the Cool Dads Foundation. Now, he spoke on such important things when it comes to being a father. When it comes to being a father, it's not just by name, it's not just by DNA, but by the actions that come from you as a father. Mothers need fathers who are going to be there and co parenting with them to be active with your children because your children are going to need you to be in their lives. It's important. It is something that is best for the society that we are in. And many of the social ills comes from the fact that there are no or less father figures out there. So, firstly, to those who are active fathers in their children's lives, kudos to you. And to those who are not, there's still time for you to make things better. Join people like the dads on the Cool Dads Foundation. Speak to them. Try to understand what it means to be an excellent father and what it can mean for the country and for society as a whole. Now, to donate to the Cool Dads Foundation, you can contact Bongani Luvalo on 072 087 5798. They are always open for donations. It's an excellent cause as well. You can also check out some of their activities on the Cool Dads Foundation.co.za and on their social media pages. Just like our social media pages, where we are all too excited to read your comments, your engagement with us. Let us know your thoughts. Now it is 12:01, so we're going to take a quick short break. And when we come back, we're going to be speaking to a phenomenal guy, Moses Letswalo, who is from the AGA Sechaba Community Project, and he is going to enlighten us on the fantastic work that they are doing. We have some great people in South Africa, and they cry like really, really going out there and doing the work. So we are also glad to show them off to you. So stay tuned. We'll be back after the break.